Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do a disassembly for you. So, Quiet Carry was super kind and sent me this Nebula version of the 9. This is by far one of my favorite knives in a long time, and probably the best knife so far in 23. The action is crazy. I mean, look at that. Detent is as strong as it needs to be, not any stronger. Like, hard to explain. It's so good. Everything is rounded and chamfered. I've done a review on this knife, so don't need to go crazy. But I wanted to see about getting skiffs in here because the centering might be just ever so slightly over to this side. And I figure, why not? Has anybody seen inside this knife? I would like to. Will I regret it? We shall see. All right, so we're going to grab a T8 for our pivot. These were, oh, that was, okay. No Loctite, it seems, which is good. I prefer that. These are made in Taiwan. I've confirmed that. You do have the D shape over on this side, which is cool. You have sort of a double screw on the insert. We'll take a look in there when we get a chance to see if this is T8 too. Should be, yeah. Okay, these are Chicago screws, I'm betting, because that's how Quiet Carry likes to roll. And we'll pop this guy out. All right, let's see. Turn it around so I can get a good angle. Oh, okay. So you have some pins holding things in, which is cool. Here's your Chicago screw on this one. Oh, look at that. On that, on this body screw, it doesn't even show on the other side. Goes through and threads just into the titanium. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Oh, uh-oh. We might not be able to swap this out. It looks like it's rocking. Man, the infamous and newly everywhere used 3/64th ball. Although this might be, no, I think it's 3/64th. I'm waiting for Skiff to send me some new ones, so maybe we'll have to wait. This is gonna go not through here and pop right in here. God damn. That is crazy. Okay, well, I'll just try to get it centered up. I only got one set, and I put them in my Nimble, and then my Nimble is no longer with us. So let's clean this up. We have at least done a disassembly of the knife, and we can reassemble. So you guys have seen the inside if you picked one of these up and you wanted to see what it looked like inside. One of the reasons I like to do disassemblies is because I'm honestly curious what's inside the knife, and I know a lot of people are. So this way, you can see inside the knife without having to take yours apart, right? Which, you know, for some people is very annoying. So let's clean it up. I might see, this might be dumb, but let's see if I can add just a touch of pressure. Okay. And then we have our screw here, and it looks like that screw, right, goes through there. It's interesting how this clip doesn't mount all the way down. Let's see if we can get this guy off easily. Just keep that screw separate there. So there's your clip. Very nice system. I like that. I'm going to try to give it a little more juice. There we go. It wasn't like light tension, but I noticed last night in my pocket it wasn't necessarily like super tight either. I prefer tighter. Not too tight, but tighter. Build quality wise, it is, since it's made in, I assumed it would be like Best Tech, because that's where the Quiet Carry large IQ was made, or that's who made that one. I'm just making sure. Was this head sticking? That's what she said. Was this head sticking out of there before? I'm sure it was. Yeah. It's not a tapper, is it? No. All right. All right. We have done our damage. We probably shouldn't have. Whatever we did, we'll see. And now we put it back together as is. So I'll have to order those skiffs. I was waiting on him to get some Jaeger bearings, the multi-row 16 ball 6mm 1/16, before I place the order, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it because more and more knives are using these bearings. I don't know, all of a sudden, or maybe it's not all of a sudden. Maybe it's just right now we're noticing it more. I always assumed these were the 1mm, and then I would try 1mm bearings and they wouldn't fit right, and I'd be like, oh, they just don't fit right. So maybe it's just, you know, now we are informed. So let's see, do we have anything to clean out in there? We might as well go ahead and I'll take this guy. I'll take a T6. I'll pop this in. I don't know if I've shown you guys my new little organizer right there. Just got some extra bits. I'm trying to work on a different version with Tinker Force, but I don't know. I kind of like this. Maybe I just need 2 of them. Call that a day. So this goes through here. Look at that fat carbon, baby. Oh, calm down there, buddy. Whoa, calm down there, buddy. All right, does it go in a certain way? Yes, it does. There you go. All right, so we have our pins in place. Hopefully they don't rattle at all. Maybe just to be safe, I'll put a little bit of heavy inside of the oops, okay, a little bit too much. There we go. That'll ooze out. Maybe do the same thing up here. Just basically putting something inside of the pocket so that when the pin goes in, it doesn't rattle. Which I'm not saying this one rattled because I never heard a rattle, but why not keep it from doing that, right? Man. Okay. Did I put that in right? Seems like there's a hole under there. Or is that just from me? Oh my God. Just a little extra. I didn't put that much in, but yes, I did. I put way too much in. By the way, I do think this knife is fantastic, so I want to put that out there. I did get this knife from Quiet Carry. Again, they were kind enough to gift it to me. But I actually bought the initial one, the White Storm one, and then after it shipped, they refunded me, and they were like, well, just use, just have it as a review sample or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then because they did that, I passed it around. It's going around right now to some channels. And then when I saw these new versions, I was like, oh, I'm definitely jumping on that Nebula when it comes out. And I guess they heard me, or maybe I told them that. I think I told them I was going to pick one up when they came out. So they just sent me one, which was just amazing. So you got to take what I say with a grain of salt, but technically I did drop $330 initially on it, I was willing to pay for it. If that means anything. Because it does mean something to me. Alright. And the people over there are really cool. I just love what they do. I mean, all their knives pretty much are awesome. The only one I haven't, like, fallen in love with is, like, the Eddie, I think. Is that the one? Or is it the Chase? Might be both of those. They're a little more traditional for me. Alright, let's see if this buys us good centering. And the centering was fine. I just, you know, I'm nitpicky. So, I don't think the D shape matters on this side. I think we got it on the other side. So, let me just drive this guy in first. Then the long one went in here because it threads. Damn, I went ham on that. Heavy. Yeah, whatever. That one is longer because it doesn't thread into, it doesn't have a screw on the other side. Where this one has the Chicago screw on the other side. So we'll see how the action is. You know, sometimes factory action is better. Like they just dial it in, you know. Okay, so first, centering is kind of the same. So not dropping shut, but I may have either over tightened it or the adjustment I made could have caused it to be a little less drop shut. Let's see. No play. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Or it's just breaking in now. Oops. I don't know if it necessarily feels any stronger. Oh. I think it's just wearing in. There it is. I mean, it was full on guillotine before, but it's close. Let's see if I can get this centered. That's pretty good right there. Guessing skips would help with that. Let me feel the detail left-handed. Yeah, I definitely added a little oomph, which I prefer. I don't need it to guillotine shut every time. So I just need to be careful now that I don't go too tight when I glue it, because that's going to be my Achilles heel here. All right, there it goes. Okay. So let's try loosen. And then tighten. And I'm pushing this way so that I can try to get that centering to come in. Actually, let me try. I'll loosen these a touch. Oh, there goes. There she goes. Yeah, so I'm thinking if I push her over this way, tighten it down, and then bring these in, what happens? Centers up better that way. Really tight though. Yeah, too tight. I don't think I'm doing anything to the centering, so I just need to tighten it. Get it to the right spot. The one place I don't think I cleaned was on the lock face, but that might be wrong. I don't remember. Tighten that. So I need to get it to that. I need to get it right there. It's going to be impossible. And if I tighten more, what happens? See, now it's centered. Now it'll be too tight, but don't know if I can repeat this. Oh, wait. All right, let's just go for it and see what happens. I also never checked these screws. They are good. All right. First thing I want to do is clean the screw because I did get oil. Oops. I did get oil in a lot of places. First thing I want to say is I don't recommend doing what I did there and adjusting the lock bar unless it's something you've done a few times, because it's not tricky, it's just that you could overdo it. You want to go baby steps. And I may not have done anything, honestly. If you watch back, who knows? All right, we are all clean now. We just gotta get this baby glued in. I've been doing this lately. Something a lot of people do with Loctite is you just take a little bit and you try to work it on the threads inside. And that way you're pretty much ensured that you got some inside, because what happens when you do it like this is it tends to bind up at the pivot barrel. Centered, no play. Kind of want to just let that break in where it is, because I don't want it to have play. Yeah, there's no play. And it's pretty much, yeah. All right, so we just got to let that tighten, or Loctite, sorry. Tighten that down. Yeah, it's pretty damn close. I'm very OCD about centering, guys. That's like 99.8% centered, so I need to just let it go. And once I get the skips in, I'll probably change it anyway, so that might fix it up. All right, take this out, drop this guy here, put this guy here, and we put our, oh, I never put any, that might help too, if I put a little bit of KPO heavy on the detent ball. That tiny bit of extra detent I put on there just really hit the spot for me, so I will take the trade-off of less drop shut, but I don't even think it's going to be less drop shut when I'm done with it. So what I do is I put a little on the detent ball, and then I open and close it like this to wear that track in. And There we go. And then I just make sure that I don't get any on the lock face. So I'm doing this, but I'm making sure not to open the lock all the way, or open the blade all the way. And you'll see why in a second. There might be a little bit that gets onto the tang. Doesn't look like this case it did, but sometimes that'll happen. You just wipe it off before, and then let's see what we got. Yeah, she's butter. Look at that. She's not a full-blown guillotine like before, but I could, you know, I could back off the pivot a little bit, or, you know, figure it out. But I'm just going to let it break in instead. So let me know what you guys think down below. Big shout out to Quiet Carry. Thank you so much. Keep your eyes out for these guys. There are more coming. They have an all blacked out version dropping soon, maybe by the time this video comes out. I believe there might be one more version after that. And then, you know, who knows, they'll probably restock as they go. But this is just, so I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.